It's a brisk Sunday afternoon here in South Central Pennsylvania. We just got home from church. It's kind of gloomy today, actually. We're hoping that this gloominess actually produces some precipitation tonight. It's supposed to. We haven't had rain here in like 6 to 8 weeks. It's been a hot minute and things are super dry. We've been working in the garden this week and boy, has it been hard. The ground is just so hard. There's no moisture in it at all. So hoping and praying we get some rain tonight. But anyways, it is the day after my birthday. I turned 33 yesterday. Matt took me out for a birthday dinner, just the two of us. Matt's parents offered to keep the kids, so it was kind of nice. We had a little date night. We don't get to do that very often, so we enjoyed our time together and enjoyed our meal. But whenever it's someone's birthday, we like to do a nice home-cooked meal at home together, just enjoying one another. So on the way home from church today, Matt and I we're foodies and we talk about food a whole lot, but there's some things we've both been craving. My most favorite dessert is tiramisu. I don't make it very often, and there are very few places that I think make it well enough where I will like actually go and spend money on it somewhere. So for my birthday, I want some tiramisu. So we're gonna make that. And he was saying he's craving some mashed potatoes, and my mind went to cottage pie. I love cottage pie, and it feels like the perfect meal for this brisk day. And then of course, we're gonna make some bread. On occasion, Matt and I will go to Longhorn Steakhouse. That's one place we both do enjoy eating at. It's not where we went yesterday, but that's beside the point. We love their bread there. It's like honey wheat type bread, just super yummy. So I have been scouring the internet looking for copycat recipes, and I have found a few. I think I'm just gonna kind of take a little bit from each one and put them together and see what I make out of it. So we're gonna see how that goes. But first I need to run some grains through my mill. So today for my grains, I'm gonna use einkorn. We love the flavor of einkorn, amazing nutritional benefits there. Let's see, will you fit there? Yes, okay. Of course, we got to activate some yeast. So I have 3/4 cup of buttermilk and then a tablespoon of butter in here. I've warmed this up. That's gonna go in. 2½ teaspoons of active dry yeast. And a teaspoon of sugar. I'm gonna give that a stir and allow it to activate for about 5 minutes. All right, now that we've got that activated, 1/3 cup of honey is gonna go in here. I sprayed my cup hoping that it would come out easier, but seems not the case. 1 teaspoon salt. 1 1/3 cup of a whole wheat flour, or I'm using the einkorn today. 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And we're gonna mix this all together. Now, because I'm using freshly milled flour, it needs some time to absorb the liquid. Right now it's very sticky. So I'm gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes, come back and just see how sticky it still is, and if it's still pretty wet, we'll add a little bit more flour to it. Okay, I came back, added about 1/4 cup more of all-purpose flour. That seems good now. And last ingredient, to find my 1/4 cup measurement here, is some of these hot cereal grains, the 10-grain hot cereal from Bob's Red Mill. So that's gonna go in here. And then I am just going to allow my mixer to do all the kneading for me for about 8 minutes. Okay, here is the dough. After about 8 minutes kneaded. Smells so good. So now this is just going to sit in a warm spot for about 60 minutes or until it doubles. So while we wait for the bread over there, I do have some meat pulled out here that I have thawing. I have a pound of ground beef and a pound of ground venison for the cottage pie. We're gonna work on some tiramisu now so that can get chilling in the fridge, allowing all of the goodness there to like soak into each other and get super yummy. So first thing was I brewed some extra strong coffee here. The proper way would be to use espresso. I don't have espresso, so strong coffee will do. I have 2 cups there that I'm going to allow to cool. Now, today's tiramisu recipe is semi-homemade. I didn't really feel like making ladyfingers from scratch today, and I just so happened to be at one of my local Amish like discount grocery stores, and they had ladyfingers there. These are actually really hard to find in my area. Walmart doesn't carry them. Some of the other local grocery stores don't have them either. So when I saw them, I was just like, well, this is my sign. I need to make some tiramisu. So I picked up those. So today is semi-homemade tiramisu. Do you remember, I don't think it's on anymore, goodness, but I don't have cable TV, so I have no idea. A semi-homemade with Sandra Lee on the Food Network channel. I used to watch that growing up with my Nana. We loved her, honestly. So today we have semi-homemade with Kelsey. So I don't have to make ladyfingers today, so I'm gonna set those to the side, but I am gonna make Grant just stretched and yawned. I am going to make like an egg yolk. No, Eleanor is yawning. We're gonna make an egg mixture here for the mascarpone cheese. Let's get to that. They're on the couch watching Tom and Jerry. It's just a cozy, quiet Sunday afternoon here. So for this egg mixture, we need 6 egg yolks. So I'm gonna separate them out here. I'm using a massive bowl. It's way overkill, but it's the only one that will fit on top of my stock pot, because we're gonna take this over and do a double boiler thing. It's the only one that'll fit on the top without sinking into it too far. Now we're not gonna use these egg whites in this recipe. I'm just gonna set these aside for use in like a quiche or some scrambled eggs. So I've got my 6 egg yolks in here, 2/3 cup of sugar is gonna go in with them, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Grab a whisk and get this over onto the stove. So this you want to be mixing constantly so the eggs don't scramble. It's just over a pot of water. It's about an inch full of water, and it's simmering. So we're gonna continually stir this. We want this mixture in here to thicken up. We want it to turn a pale yellow, and we want the temperature to reach about 165 degrees. So I've got my little handy dandy thermometer ready to go. Okay, 165 has been reached. You can see it's nice and pale. You get like this nice thick sauce. To this egg mixture, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract. Okay, I need to grab, oh, what's that thing called? Spatula. Stir that up. Now we need 24 ounces mascarpone cheese. And you want it cold right from the fridge. Okay, and we just fold this in until it's nice and smooth. You don't want to overmix it, but you do want to make sure there isn't any lumps. It's so creamy and velvety smooth. Now we must make some whipped cream. Isn't this just a lovely sight? I was recently able to find, the camera will focus here, what I want it to focus on. I was able to find some local raw, like grass-fed organic heavy cream in glass bottles, and they have their raw milk in glass bottles too. And there's just, it's the little things for me. There's something about getting some local milk in glass bottles that just makes me really happy. But anyways, I have 2 cups of this heavy cream going in here. I need to get my spatula to get all that goodness out of there. I don't want to waste it. So we're gonna make some whipped cream. I'm gonna get this whipping. I have a little bit more in here than my recipe needs, but I want a little bit to put on either the top of the dessert or off to the side when I serve it. So we're gonna whip this up. I might add a little bit of vanilla and sugar to this as well. Here is one of the half-gallon glass jugs of milk. Look at the cream line. You see that there? So fun. I love it so much. Beautiful. Okay, we're just gonna take a little bit of this at a time, and I'm gonna leave a little bit for serving. I'm just gonna fold this in here. On to assembly. So I have my cooled, strongly brewed coffee in here, or your espresso. Optional, you can add some like coffee liqueur to this, like Kahlua, if you would desire. I'm keeping it plain. So now we're just gonna take these lady fingers, we're gonna dunk them in here and line them up in the pan, however they fit. I might have to break them to get them to fit. These soak in the liquid really quickly, so you don't want to leave them in here or you'll just have ladyfingers go into pieces. Just a quick dunk and roll around. Okay, first layer of soaked ladyfingers in the pan. I don't think I mentioned this is just a 9x13 pan. We're gonna put half of this cheese and egg mixture and cream mixture in here. Looks delightful. And the very last step is dusting with some cocoa powder. I'm just going to cover this with some plastic wrap, set it in the fridge to chill until we eat it later tonight. Back to our bread. Isn't that lovely? It's doubled. Smells fantastic. I'm excited to try this. So we divide in half. I'm gonna pat them out. I might need to get my rolling pin. Just gonna make them into little rectangles. Then we roll. Pinch the ends and tuck them under a little bit, and I just kind of roll it all together. So 2 little like baguette loaves. Dough's just gonna get put on sheet pan here. I'm gonna cover this, and again, these are going to rise until about doubled. We'll see how long it takes. I'm gonna guess about 45 minutes. It's pretty warm in here right now. So in my pot here, I've got 4 large carrots, 3 stalks of celery, a shallot, and what else did I put in here? Oh, some leeks that I had in the freezer, probably maybe the equivalent of 1 leek. And now I'm gonna put in a good scoop of minced garlic, zester, and I have just been sauteing these for the last few minutes, just getting them a little bit softened. Okay. Now this is totally customizable. You put in whatever veggies your family will eat. I'm gonna do a little bit of mushrooms just out of a can. I have a whole bunch of these in my pantry I need to start using. Next is a 1/4 cup tomato paste and a 1/4 cup flour. Use gluten-free if you need to. Give this a stir. Okay, 1.5 cups beef broth. Two tablespoons of Worcestershire. I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup of red wine, but that's totally optional. If you don't want to use that or don't like it, you can just add some more beef broth. Make sure you're scraping up all the good brown bits off the bottom. Lots of flavor in there. It's freeze-dried rosemary from the garden, about a teaspoon. Bay leaf. Put a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And a good dash of pepper. I'm gonna add the meat in that has been browning. Time for some mashed taters. I'm keeping the skins on. We like the skins on every once in a while. Depends on our mood, but our mood tonight says leave the skins on. Got some melted butter going in. I'm gonna do some heavy cream, some garlic salt, and some sour cream. And I can't say I ever like follow a recipe for this. I just kind of add a little bit, mash it up, give it a taste, and go from there. I'm gonna grab some milk too. After scoring the loaves, we're going to brush them with an egg wash, just an egg and some water mixed together. These will bake at 375 degrees for about 35 minutes. So here are the loaves of bread, all finished, a little bit darker than I had wanted them to get, but I got a little bit scatterbrained, forgot to set the timer, and ended up scrambling quickly to go and save them. And I did, but just a little bit darker than I wanted them to be, but really delicious. We all thoroughly enjoyed this bread. Very similar to the Longhorn Steakhouse bread. I would highly recommend. This meal was thoroughly enjoyed by all. It was a cozy evening spent in filling our bellies with warm, hearty food, enjoying each other's company. We had a really nice evening, watched a bunch of movies, and ate ourselves roundful of tiramisu. Thanks for spending some time with me, friend. I hope you were able to relax, find a little bit of peace, and maybe a little bit of inspiration as well. You have a blessed week, and I will see you next time. Take care.